hosting the reconvened committee meeting on the 27th. That was some housekeeping. We're not live streaming, so everything will be picked up via the mics. There's no planned fire drill today, so if the fire alarm sounds, members of the staff will guide you safely out of the building. Please set your mobile phones to silent, and please speak clearly and don't need to. Okay, item number 1, apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies received from Councillor Edward Mossop, and we have Councillor Rue Yardley substituting.
Disclosures of interest. Do we have any for this item? No. Okay, moving on to the annual governance statement and financial statements for 22-23. This is item 6 in your pack from the 27th on page 63. And there are 4 recommendations. Do any members have any comments that they would like to make on this item? Mr. Pilkington.
Notice on page 94, the actual account of page 160 of the meeting pack. It talks about the management support fees and other expenses due to the council from Investees Lindsay Limited. At the end of that financial year, there's an outstanding balance of 250,000. I noticed in the financial statements 23-24 that outstanding balance has climbed to 0.85 million. So it's not necessarily a reason not to approve anything, but I would like an explanation as to why that figure is climbing and what the plan is for that money to be claimed back. And if I can just add, subsequent to the last committee meeting, colleagues that obviously have contacted myself and Ian with information, background information about Investees Lindsay, and offered a briefing to us. But I noticed that there is this outstanding balance that seems to be climbing, and I'd be grateful for an explanation of how anything as others.
Christine.
So I'll have to ask Ellie what that's composed of. We'll probably need to just go away and check what the composition is of that. So there's a number of transactions between the parties, including loan interest and charges from us to them and them to us. As far as I'm aware, I'm not aware of any outstanding sums other than the loan sums at this point in time. So I'll have to ask Ellie to go away and have a look at that in more detail, and we'll do a little schedule for the members on that point.
Okay, thank you.
So did anyone else want to speak on that? No? Okay, thank you.
Chairman, do you want Ellie just to say a few words in?
I can
just to say.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So just to recap this report. So the purpose of the report is to approve the financial statements for 22-23. The committee previously received this on the 30th of October 2024. Just to confirm, they were published on the council's website on the 31st of October, and the 30 working day public inspection period commenced on the 1st of November. That concluded yesterday, the 12th of December at 4 p.m. And the backstop date for approving and publishing the 22-23 financial statements, along with the external auditor's opinion, is today. Upon review on the 1st of November, there was an administrative correction that was made to one of the notes, hence the website showing the amended date being the 1st of November. But just to confirm, those statements were actually published on the 31st of October. At the meeting on the 30th of October, I highlighted some of the key themes in terms of the spend on the comprehensive income and expenditure statement on page 18 of the appendix. And the information relating to the general fund outturn is being presented to Executive Board on Monday the 16th of December as part of the 23-24 outturn report with the 22-23 abbreviated outturn. We also looked at the movement in the balance sheet. So the net worth of the council increased by just over 59 million from the previous year. At that meeting, I highlighted that the reasons for that were an increase of just under 7 million in property, plant and equipment due to increases in asset valuations at the year end. We also saw in the accounts an increase in short-term investments of 22.3 million due to government funding that was received relating to Towns Fund, not yet utilised, so the council was able to invest that to achieve some investment returns. There was a decrease of just over 19 million in short-term creditors, and that was due to grants received in advance in 21-22, utilised in 22-23, or repaid where it was spent. And then there was a reduction of just over 35 million in the pension liability as well, due to changes in financial assumptions. I also highlighted at that meeting that movement in reserve statement showed that the council's usable reserves had increased overall. So there was a reduction in earmarked reserves where they've been drawn down to fund spend in the financial year, and an increase in capital grants and applied, which will be drawn down to fund future years' spend. So the notes of the accounts provide further detail behind those 4 primary statements, and the content and format of those is prescribed by the Code of Practice and the guidance notes. The annual governance statement is also included within the financial statements, and this was approved by the committee at the meeting on the 27th of November. The committee are aware that the audit has not been undertaken by Mazars, and a disclaimed opinion will be issued as soon as the financial statements are approved. This will be published on the council's website along with the financial statements. So just turning to the recommendations of that report, recommendation number 1, approve the annual governance statement 22-23. As I mentioned, that was already completed at the meeting on the 27th of November. So at this meeting, we are asking the committee to, following the approval of the annual governance statement, approve the financial statements for 22-23. That is recommendation number 2. Recommendation number 3 is no longer applicable, as the statements will be signed today. So that was actually for the Section 151 officer in conjunction with the chair of this committee to approve any amendments if required. We are not anticipating any amendments on the basis that today is the signing date. And the 4th recommendation is to authorise the Section 151 officer in consultation with the chair of this committee to approve the letter of representation. These 2. Concludes the report, and I'm happy to take.
Thank you. Welcome, Councillor Grover. And are there any questions from members of the? Oh, you can speak. And especially if you've got any questions relating to this. Any questions from members of the committee? You're all happy with that?
Can we just check? Mr. Pilkington did bring up some queries, but is it all right to sign everything despite the fact we haven't been able to tick the box for your queries?
I'm satisfied with the accounts.
If you're satisfied,
Yeah.
You'll be satisfied that the 151 officer gets back to you with the answers, or Ellie does.
Yeah, we can get an explanation as to why that debt's fine.
The statement of fact, we
Yeah.
need to remember the statement of facts, it's a statement of facts.
We can add that as an action.
From the meeting.
To have a bit more detail to that. Okay, all right then,
Do you want me to propose?
right, okay, so the recommendations, recommendation 1 we've already approved. Recommendation,
I propose recommendation. That's all.
but I think
2 to 4.
two to,
No, one of them has been, haven't you taken this many?
it doesn't matter whether you
Well,
approve it or not.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm happy.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
Right, okay, recommendation, and anyone want to second that recommendation? Reply, thank you very much. All those in favour? Any against? It's carried. Okay, and that concludes today's meeting. Thank you very much for your attendance.
Thank you, Mark.
All
No
bits.
problem. Nice and easy for me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You could use your gavel.
Yeah.